In Thomas Nagel's article, Sexual Perversion, he tries to break down exactly what sexual desire is and what can make some of these desires sexually perverted compared to others. To do this, he realized a criteria must be made for something to be considered a sexual perversion. This includes any sexual perversion to be a sexual desire that in some sense is unnatural. What qualifies it as unnatural will be discussed later. Also, a sexual perversion can be a practice such as bestiality that includes unnatural sexual inclinations as well as the unnatural practice itself. Here, Nagel compares a sexual desire simply to the same desire of hunger or thirst. It is a natural body response to something in the external world, whether it be an omelet or a person. The difference of this is what classifies a sexual desire. Sexual attraction is based on several attractive characteristics, but produces a single basic feeling of desire. As for an omelet, everyone enjoys them for different reasons, though, and there is not just one omelet they love. Several can be made and they are all enjoyed equally. It is not true that just because two people have the same characteristics that you will desire and love both of them, but you can't have a specific desire for one person and expect to feel the same way for someone else that may be similar. Following this attraction, desire will occur. This happens through a cycle of embodiment. It begins with self-awareness that you are sexually aware of your desire for another person. This cycle continues when this other person realizes your sense for them and they begin to sense you back. This is not just a process of noticing each other, but desiring where both bodies are affected both physically and mentally and responds without control, usually leading to mutual sexual touch. A sexual desire is simply an appetite like hunger and thirst. It is natural. Sex has a related structure. It involves a desire that one's partner be aroused by the recognition of one's desire that he or she be aroused. These are involuntary responses with deliberate control to act on them. By taking action on these involuntary responses, you are contributing to further embodiment of yourself and of the other. Therefore, a sexual perversion is when this cycle of desire and embodiment, both self and for the other, cannot be completed. In particular, narcissistic practices or intercourse with animals, infants, and inanimate objects keep a person at the first stage of attraction. This is because an infant cannot realize when someone is looking at them, desiring them, and experiencing the involuntary body responses. They also cannot experience it themselves to continue this cycle of desire and embodiment. The experience is reduced entirely to an awareness of one's own sexual embodiment because an infant or animal cannot reciprocate this awareness and sense of the other. According to Nagel, some activities are difficult to classify, such as intercourse with more than two people and homosexuality. Overall, Nagel decides that homosexuality does not classify as a perversion because there is no difference between men and women in this cycle. Both experience self-embodiment with sexual desire. A difference does occur when it comes to the typical sexual act following the desire. However, this can be argued by bringing up heterosexual intercourse, where the female can be the aggressive one instead of the passive. Overall, it is not a perversion. To conclude, I find Nagel's opinion on sexual perversion interesting, and I do agree with many aspects of it. A perversion of the notion of desire is closely analyzed through an existential point of view, focusing on the self-actualization of embodiment. Both death and sexual desire bring us back to ourself and body. When it comes to sexual desire, this can only be completed when the relationship is mutual and equal. This is why intercourse with animals and infants are considered sexual perversions,